If you're thinking of moving to Connecticut in 2026, congratulations, you found the right video. This is your ultimate relocation guide for 2026. I'm going to walk you through everything you need to know so you can make the move with confidence, avoid expensive mistakes, and actually enjoy landing here instead of showing up confused and wondering why your neighbor owns a snowblower the size of a small tank. Connecticut is a small state with a big personality. We pack beaches, vibrant cities, tiny postcard towns, rolling farmland, and more pizza places per square mile than should be legal. People move here for quality of life, strong schools, access to major cities, and that classic New England charm that makes you feel like living in a place that actually has history. They also move here and get shocked by things like the property tax and the fact that some homes still have heat with oil. Yes, oil like the 1950s. We are going to cover the pros, the cons, the fun stuff, the serious stuff, and all the things nobody tells you until after you've already signed the papers. And yes, I've lived here my whole life. I've helped thousands of families relocate to Connecticut. So you are getting the local insider version, not the glossy brochure version. So let's jump in. Topic number one, housing market trends and the cost of living. The first thing on everyone's mind as they start here is early 2026. Connecticut is still one of the tightest inventory real estate markets in the whole country. That means fewer homes and fewer sales, steady buyer demand, and prices that have stayed surprisingly resilient even when other markets have softened. Right now, the median home price in Connecticut is hovering right around 425,000 statewide, depending on which report you're looking at. That's up about 8 to 10% from last year, which is kind of wild when you consider mortgage rates have been bouncing around and the national market has been all over the place. In Fairfield County, closer to New York, the median price is closer to 600 to 650,000. In the Hartford area, it's right around 350 to 380. And in Litchfield County, where I spent a lot of my time, you get those gorgeous rolling hills, beautiful lakes, and still you can find charming homes in the low to mid 300s. Homes are moving fast. The average days on market statewide is around 40. In competitive towns, homes are gone and in contract in under 5 days. And here's the kicker, nearly half of all homes sold in December went above asking price. That's not a typo. 53%. So if you're moving here and you think you can lowball every property and negotiate, you're in for a rude awakening. Now, here's an unexpected insight most people would not expect. A huge portion of our housing stock was built before 1970. Cape Cods, colonials, ranches, all from the 50s. In the 60s, they dominated many neighborhoods. You're not just buying a house here, you are often buying a piece of history with quirky closets, floors that creak like they're auditioning for a horror movie, and outlets in places that make zero sense. Here's some unexpected insight that usually catches most people off guard. Around 35% of all Connecticut homes still use oil heat, not natural gas, not electric, oil. You'll have a big tank in your basement or buried in your yard. Most times they want it out of the yard now. You'll have to call a company to come and fill it a few times throughout the winter. Welcome to New England independence. Every house is basically its own tiny power plant. And yes, your heating bills in January can make you cry a little. Let's talk about the cost of living because Connecticut is not cheap. Groceries are higher than the national average. Electricity rates are among the highest in the country. We're talking $166 a month on average compared to $76. $76 a month for oil versus $39 a month on average for natural gas. Gasoline prices also tend to run above the national average. Everything costs a little bit more here. And then there's the property taxes. Connecticut funds most local services through municipal property taxes instead of county taxes because we don't have county governments, which I'll explain in a minute. The average effective property tax rate is about 1.8%. That's nearly double the national average. So a $400,000 house could carry tax from 7 to 9,000 depending on what town. But here's the upside. Higher taxes come with real benefits. Town services are excellent. Roads are maintained. They have snow removal that makes other states look like they're winging it. We have amazing libraries, parks, community programs, public schools, and everything is funded locally. So you truly feel like you're getting something for those checks you write the tax collector twice a year. Another pro, stable home values. Beautifully established neighborhoods with ton of architecture character. These homes were built to last. Another con, we have higher prices near New York and older homes that are going to need some updates. We also have property taxes that can make a grown adult question their life choices. Connecticut has quietly become a relocation destination for retirees downsizing from New York. Prices here can still look like an absolute bargain. A $500,000 house here will get you something gorgeous, while $500,000 in Westchester gets you a garage. Topic number 2, and this is what separates Connecticut from almost every other state: property taxes and understanding the differences. Not all towns are created equal. In fact, Connecticut can have the feel of a different planet just from town to town. Some towns like Greenwich and Westport have high home prices, but relatively low mill rates. Other towns like Waterbury or Bridgeport have lower home prices, but high tax rates. Suburban communities like Cheshire, Southington, Wallingford, Woolcott, Prospect, they strike a balance. Then you have towns like Washington with a mill rate of 10.85, while Hartford's is 68.95. You can literally cut your tax bill in half just by choosing a different town. Here's an unexpected insight that most relocation videos will never tell you. Connecticut has no official county government. Zero. Nada. We abolished it back in 1960. Most states rely on counties for planning. Here, everything happens at the town level. That means each of our 169 towns sets its own mill rate, its own zoning, its own trash pickup, its own culture. So two identical houses in two neighboring towns can cost dramatically different amounts every single month just because of where the property lines fall. Buyers are always shocked when they realize moving 10 minutes down the road can change the affordability more than picking a completely different house. There are neighborhoods and streets and sections of towns that locals understand because they deal with them every day. Things like which side of the street has lower taxes, which school district boundary you want to be on, whether your street gets plowed first or last. My team and I help people compare towns, understand which area fits the budget and their lifestyle, and plan ahead so there are no surprises after the moving truck unloads and that first tax bill arrives 6 months later like an unwelcome housewarming gift wrapped in bureaucracy. Let me say it like this: choosing the right Connecticut town is just as important as choosing the right Connecticut house. It might even be more important in 2026. The most popular price point in Connecticut is right between 325 and 450,000. This segment remains truly competitive. Multiple offers are still common, especially when the house is updated and doesn't need much work. Buyers are tired. They don't want to renovate. They want to unpack boxes and be done. Another part of the cost of living conversation is homeowners insurance. Connecticut premiums are generally reasonable unless you're in coastal flood zones where they jump faster than a cat on a hot stove. You're buying near the shore, you need to factor in flood insurance. It's not optional and it's not cheap. Let's handle a common objection I hear. Buyers don't want to pay high Connecticut taxes. The way to handle that is to zoom out and look at the full monthly picture. Sometimes a slightly higher priced home in a lower tax town is actually cheaper every single month than the lower priced home in the high tax town. It feels backward, but that's Connecticut math, and it keeps things interesting and makes spreadsheets your best friend. Topic 3, the job market and career opportunities. People don't just move for houses, they move for paychecks. And Connecticut in 2026 has strong and diverse jobs that honestly fly under the radar. Major employment sectors include healthcare, education, advanced manufacturing, insurance, finance, pharmaceuticals, technology. Companies like Pratt& Whitney, Electric Boat, Sikorsky, Aircraft, Travelers Insurance, Hartford Healthcare, Yale New Haven, UConn, they anchor our economy. They aren't small operations. We're talking tens of thousands of employees and billions in economic impact. Our employment rate as of 2025 was right around 3.8%, which is lower than the national average of 4.1%. Median household incomes is right about 90,000, one of the highest in the country. Connecticut consistently makes the top 10 list in states when it comes to household income. People here earn good money, and here's an unexpected insight most relocation channels miss completely. Connecticut is an absolute powerhouse for aerospace and submarine manufacturing. Southeastern part of Connecticut, Groton, New London, that whole region is booming thanks to defense contracts. Electric Boat builds nuclear submarines, not model submarines, full-size, real-deal ocean-going submarines that cost billions of dollars. That means engineers, tradespeople, welders, electricians, project managers, constant demand. Many buyers assume the whole state revolves around New York commuters working in finance. Surprise! Thousands of people make incredible livings here without ever going near Manhattan. We're quietly building some of the most advanced military technology in the world. Topic number 4, transportation, traffic, and commute times. The glamorous world of sitting in your car and wondering if you should have left just 15 minutes earlier. Connecticut is famous for I-95 and the Merritt Parkway, and not always in a good way. Both are beautiful drives until you hit traffic, and they're beautiful parking lots. In 2026, traffic has increased compared to the pandemic years when everybody was working from home. The average commute time statewide is about 26 minutes currently. Fairfield County commuters heading into New York see 45 to 70-minute trips depending on the timing. If you leave at 7:15, you should be fine. If you leave at 7:45, you're spending quality time with your steering wheel. Metro North trains run from New Haven, Bridgeport, Stamford, Greenwich, straight into Grand Central. It's one of the best commuter rail systems in the country, and you can read, work, nap, whatever you want, and it beats driving into the city hands down. Bradley International Airport, just outside of Hartford, connects you to the rest of the world. You've got easy access to JFK, LaGuardia, Newark, in case you needed a more international airport. Being positioned between New York and Boston means you're never far from entertainment or those major airports. Topic number 5. What are the best neighborhoods for your different lifestyles? This is where Connecticut really shines. It is all about variety. If you love shoreline, we have towns like Milford, Branford, Madison, Guilford, Old Saybrook. They give you beach living, lobster rolls, sunsets over Long Island Sound. But if you prefer city life, there's Hartford, New Haven, Stamford. They all offer restaurants and nightlife, cultural diversity, and walkable downtowns. People often gravitate towards the suburbs with strong community feel, places like Cheshire, Southbury, Watertown, Southington, Glastonbury, Prospect, West Hartford. These towns have excellent schools, active PTAs, young sports leagues, and that classic suburban vibe where everybody knows everybody. Some people absolutely adore the northwest corner, Litchfield, Kent, Washington, anything near Banham Lake or Candlewood Lake. It's rural, peaceful, stunning. You get farm to table restaurants, antique shops, hiking trails. It's going to have you feeling like you escaped to Vermont without actually leaving Connecticut. Every lifestyle has a pocket here. That's another thing most buyers don't expect because the state is so small. You can change your entire vibe without changing states. Do you want rural? Drive 20 minutes. Want urban? Drive back. You're never locked into one experience. Topic number 6, schools and education. Connecticut consistently ranks among the top best schools in America for public education. In 2026, US News and other ranking services still place Connecticut near the top for K through 12 performance. Average student to teacher ratios are low and graduation rates are high. Communities invest heavily in extracurricular programs, special ed services, and advanced placement courses. Connecticut takes education seriously. Top districts include West Hartford, Cheshire, Greenwich, Darien, Ridgefield, Glastonbury, Avon, and Southington. But even smaller towns have strong programs. You don't have to live in the wealthiest zip code to get a great education here. Topic number 7, lifestyle and weather. This is the everyday living here in Connecticut. Let's talk about what life actually feels like living here in Connecticut, because after all, that's what really matters. Connecticut will give you 4 real seasons, not the half-hearted version where it's 70 degrees in December and you're in your shorts and your Hawaiian shirt looking at all the fancy Christmas lights. You have actual seasons, warm summers with average temperatures in the 80s, colorful autumns that look like somebody photoshopped the trees, crisp springs where everything turns green again, and winters that remind you why hot cocoa and fireplaces were invented. Average winter temperatures range from 20 to 35 degrees. Snowfalls average about 37 inches a year statewide, more in the northern hills, less along the coast. You need a snowblower or a great plow guy. Heating costs are a real line item on your budget. But here's the thing. Connecticut is prepared for winter. Town budgets revolve around snow removal. Plows are out, roads are salted, power companies respond fast when trees fall down. People know how to live with the climate instead of being shocked every time something happens. Winter happens, we deal with it. Life goes on. Beaches along Long Island Sound are huge draws in the summer. Boating, kayaking, swimming, beach volleyball, it's all there. Hiking trails, state parks, waterfalls, lakes, outdoor activities, they are everywhere. Small town festivals, the apple festivals, pumpkin festivals, the county fairs, concerts on the green. There's always something happening if you want to get involved. Food culture is also enormous here. Connecticut pizza, especially New Haven style beats, it's world famous. People move here and quickly realize choosing a favorite pizza spot is basically like choosing your favorite child. Impossible, but fun to argue about. Topic number 8, moving, logistics, and practical homeownership differences. Here's a few timeless local insights that will save you headaches. Trash pickups vary by town. Some use private haulers like Prospect, where you have to hire a company. Some have municipal services where it's included with your taxes. Some towns make you bring your trash to a transfer station. Yes, really? You need to figure out what system your town uses because nobody tells you this stuff unless you've got garbage piling up in your garage, wondering why the truck never came. Water can be public or private wells. Septic systems are common in suburbs and rural areas. If you're buying a home with a septic system, get it inspected. A failed septic system can cost $15,000 to $30,000 to replace. That's not a typo. Do not skip the septic inspection. Home maintenance is more seasonal than many buyers expect. Gutter cleaning in the fall, leaf removal, driveway sealing, winterizing outdoor faucets, chimney inspections if you have a fireplace. These things matter. Weather puts a real stress on homes, and you can't coast through the year ignoring the maintenance and expecting everything to hold up. Now, here's where I want to be very clear with you. When you're relocating to Connecticut, there are many nuances that come up, from the taxes to the schools. You need a professional in your corner to help guide you. That's where my team and I come in. We can walk you through this and get you to where you want to be for your happily ever after in Connecticut. We've helped thousands of families relocate to Connecticut, and it's one of the biggest things we do is match people with towns that fit their budget and their lifestyle. We know which areas are undervalued, and we know the hidden costs. We know which neighborhoods are about to take off and which ones are overhyped. So whether you're planning to move tomorrow or 5 years from now, having that kind of insight early saves you from making expensive mistakes. You have to build your plan with strategy that actually works. Because Connecticut is an incredible place to live, but only if you end up in the right spot. Let's make sure that part happens. Newcomers often worry about older mechanical systems like furnaces, boilers, and water heaters that are 15 to 20 years old. The right strategy is getting through inspections and choosing homes that fit your comfort level. We help buyers understand those systems so fear doesn't make the decision for them. Knowledge is power, and panic is expensive. So there you have it, the ultimate guide to relocating to Connecticut for 2026. Everything from the housing cost to the property tax to the job markets and the school and the lifestyle and all the little quirks that make this state unique. Like any place, Connecticut has its pros and cons, but the pros here are pretty powerful. Strong community, excellent schools, access to nature in major cities, a job market that's more diverse and stable than most people realize, and a quality of life that keeps people here for decades once they figure out how good they have it. If you want to keep learning, be sure to check out my other videos where I break down specific Connecticut towns, neighborhoods, tax strategies, buying tips. I've got videos on West Hartford, Cheshire, shoreline towns, and of course the Northwest corner. Basically every area you might consider living in. There's always more to discover, and I love showing it off. So seriously, if you're thinking about a move, don't wait until last minute to start planning. Reach out to my team now, even if you're not moving for another year or two. Have a strategy in place. It will make everything easier when the time comes. We will walk you through the process, answer all the questions, and help you avoid all the mistakes we see people make on a daily basis. Connecticut is a fantastic place to live as long as you come prepared, informed, and work with people who actually know the state inside and out. Let's make your move a success. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.